Hello there guys, what is going on? SonOfChelsea back here again for another edition of Let's Talk Chelsea. It's Friday and we're talking transfers as the Thomas Tuchel era begins at Stamford Bridge. Predictably, there's been a lot of links this week to players that Tuchel has worked with previously, some Bundesliga players, and also the domino effect to say Declan Rice. Is he still a Chelsea transfer target for the summer? We're going to get into all of that in today's episode. But before we do, I want to ask you guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also hit that like button if you're enjoying the content because it helps out the channel as well. Let's start off with Declan Rice. Operation Rice has been going on for quite a few months now, but due to the massive decision Chelsea made on Monday to sack Frank Lampard, it appears that that pursuit of Declan Rice, Operation Rice, may well be over. According to Jacob Steinberg in The Guardian and Matt Law from The Telegraph, the Declan Rice pursuit may well be over. Chelsea do have an issue of a lack of a natural DM in this squad. We've lacked it since Nemanja Matic left for Manchester United in 2017. Unfortunately, Tomoe Bakayoko did not work out at Stamford Bridge. He still is a loan player, but I guarantee that he'll probably be permanently leaving in the summer unless something absolutely ridiculous happens. And it still is that issue with sort of Tuchel's sort of style of play, wanting, say, a double six. He spoke about that a lot yesterday in N'Golo Kante's role in his team moving forward, and sort of him not being the lone DM answer, and it's that constant sort of issue. Also, Tuchel's sort of belief, and in previous clubs with the likes of Verratti and Julian Weigl, of sort of being a deep playmaker. Who could be that in this squad? Is it going to be someone like Jorginho? Could it be Billy Gilmour? Or could it be Chelsea going out there in the summer and trying to sign one for Tuchel? But Declan Rice is still a very good Premier League player. I think he's a player that definitely will be making a move sooner rather than later. And unfortunately, it may not be to Stamford Bridge to return to his former club. It may be to, say, Manchester United. And I think he'll do really well in the Premier League shielding the defence. And it may be a target that Tuchel may be demanding a natural DM if he, say, wants to play a 4-3-3. That price has always been a contentious point regarding Declan Rice and whether Chelsea should pursue him. And we know from reports earlier this week, Frank Lampard and the Chelsea hierarchy butted heads. We always knew that Frank Lampard was really pushing Declan Rice, and that caused even more friction at Stamford Bridge, and of course Frank Lampard losing his job on Monday. So we'll have to wait and see if Declan Rice, could he still be a target? Is he a player that you'd be interested in joining Chelsea in the future? Let me know in the comments below. But let's move on to potential signings now of Thomas Tuchel, and I think the most obvious one is Marquinhos, of course former player of Thomas Tuchel. With Eurosport linking the 26-year-old Brazilian is an incredibly versatile player, can play at CDM, centre back and even right back and needed. I think is a perfect type of player for a flexible manager who alters formations even in games. I think about, say, Cesar Azpilicueta's usefulness to Chelsea over the years under different managers, and with Dave getting to the end of his Chelsea career, Marquinhos being in the prime, could be that type of player. And you know, I like the look of Marquinhos. I could see it working out because I think he maybe offers us something, sort of that dogged determination and warrior spirit that Chelsea's midfield lack. We lack bite, we lack aggression, we lack strength. I think it's quite easy to get round Chelsea's midfield, and maybe Marquinhos could offer that if Chelsea pursue him in the summer for Tuchel's system. So obviously there's that natural connection there with Thiago Silva, likely to be at Chelsea as well next season, so there could be a link up there, and trying to have a player who really represents the manager's sort of ethos and philosophy on the pitch. Marquinhos could really help implement that at Stamford Bridge like at PSG. And a bit like Thiago Silva, Marquinhos could see this as a great opportunity to test himself again in a brand new league, the Premier League. A lot of players are enticed to come over to the Premier League. It's one of those things, you know, PSG, of course, a great wages there, great place to be. You know, you're going to win a lot of titles, especially Mauricio Pochettino being there now, a new project that Marquinhos could be really intrigued by as an experienced player. But I think experience and also sort of that mentality and that spirit within midfield, that sort of dogged determination, I think we have lacked from the centre of Chelsea's midfield. And if we're not going to pursue Declan Rice, maybe pursuing a player like Marquinhos, a little bit older, but does have that natural connection to Tuchel, knows what he demands in his system, could be a really intelligent signing to bring to the Premier League. I think it's a very predictable link. I think back to Paulo Ferreira and Ricardo Carvalho joining Jose Mourinho when he arrived at Stamford Bridge in 2004. I obviously think about Jorginho arriving with Maurizio Sarri in 2018. Those signings sometimes at a club like Chelsea may not be the best long-term signings, as we're sort of seeing with Georgie at the moment, but maybe with Marquinhos, a really good versatile player in the prime of his career, could offer a lot to us moving forward. Let me know in the comments below. Another big rumoured target this summer is apparently Erling Haaland from Borussia Dortmund. Spoke about Haaland last week on the channel when Simon Johnson from The Athletic reported it, so a good source here. Sky Sports taking a little bit longer to be reporting this. They also spoke spoke about David Alaba being linked to Chelsea. He's still yet to make a move. Another versatile player that has been linked with Chelsea in the past. But talking about sort of Erling Haaland, and I think we get into this sort of conflict, or at least the reality of the situation at Chelsea, of club targets over coach targets. Now, there's no doubt, Erling Haaland, the talent he has, the ability in front of goal is ridiculous, and the potential still at his age is astronomical at this point. If he keeps on going in the same direction, he's going to be an incredible forward. He's already an incredible forward, someone with a clinical nature that's deadly. It really is in front of goal, and that's something Chelsea have lacked. And as I spoke about last week in comparison to Kai Havertz, Chelsea being really opportunistic in the current market, and as well Chelsea pursuing club targets all the time just over the head coach as well, because they could be gone in a couple of years. So I think that's interesting too, and I think this is a player absolutely Chelsea will be trying to sign this summer. There'll be many clubs in for him, I think, and it's all down to Chelsea getting that top four, getting Champions League football, because I think if we don't get Champions League football, I think the likelihood of us spending an astronomical fee on Erling Haaland is very, very limited. But let me know your opinions on Erling Haaland as well. And finally, I want to touch on Dayot Upamecano, another player being linked to Stamford Bridge from the Bundesliga. We were linked to this defender a couple of weeks ago, so it's not that much of a surprise. But now you think with Thomas Tuchel and also with Upamecano playing under Julian Nagelsmann in the Bundesliga, a high pressing team, a ball playing centre back, it all fits very well now, and you can see this still making a lot of sense. In relation to his enticing release clause, I think back to Diego Costa in 2014 and N'Golo Kante in 2016, Chelsea have prioritised really good looking release clause and tried to go in there and activate them and get some brilliant players into the club that have worked really well. And sometimes those sort of lower release clauses, lower fees have actually worked out better for Chelsea in the first team than those big mega deals. But also his ability on the ball and his mobility too, I think, in a back three or a back four that could work really well in Tuchel's current system in the future. Let me know your opinions on Upamecano and Chelsea's links to him. Do you think this is a big player Chelsea will be pursuing in the summer? And would you want him coming to the Premier League in Chelsea's defence? Let me know in the comments below. But that is it for this edition of Let's Talk Chelsea. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch it. If you did enjoy it, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Follow me on Twitter at SonOfChelsea. Have a great day, and I'll see you again.